Hi guys, welcome back to Casita's virtual kitchen. It's been a long time, but we're back. We're in lockdown volume 2 and we have another lovely Casita special for you today. So we're going to do one of our all-time top dishes today. We've had lots of requests for this. It's in our cookbook which we've released now, and it's going to be our braised ox cheeks. So we've got some absolutely fabulous ox cheeks down the front here. These are from our local butcher. You can probably get them from your local butcher. Very simple. We're going to braise this in lots of red wine, lots of aromats and some nice beautiful beef stock. So we've got on this plate here the smoked pancetta or smoked bacon. Very important for it to be smoked, it gives a lot of flavour. We've got some onion, which is just chopped quite largely, quite coarsely, some thyme and some garlic. Okay, so basically ultimately what we're going to do with this is we're going to roast off our cheeks to get all the flavour, and then we're going to braise it in the red wine and all the aromats down the front there. So first thing we need to do is we need to prep our cheeks. Okay, so we've got a nice sharp knife. Entirely up to you how big you want it. So in the restaurant we do sort of tapas sized pieces, so it's more bite size. If you used to do it for a dinner party at home, you could cut it slightly bigger. Obviously it just needs to be a little bit longer to braise. So we're just going to cut this up. We're going to do slightly bigger chunks today. Okay. And we're going to, these are really well trimmed. Sometimes you get them and they've got a bit of sinew on them. You just need to trim that off, but these are really well trimmed. So nice chunky pieces there. I'm just going to work our way through all these cheeks here. So we're just cutting up this last cheek now. So when we cook these, we're going to roast them off. Really important to get some real nice colour on there. That's going to make our stew, our ox cheek stew, taste really, really good and full of flavour. Okay, so it's really important to get these really well seasoned. I'm just going to wash my hands. For roasting meat, a lot of the seasonings fall off. So like I say, we want to season it really well. Okay, so we're going to season it here on the board. Nice cracked black pepper. Like I say, a lot of it falls off, so it looks like a lot, but a lot of it is going to fall off. Just give that a little mix up. And get all that seasonings off the board. Okay, so our meat is nicely seasoned. We get a little bit of oil in this pan here, with a nice big frying pan to roast this beef off. And then I've got another saucepan here, which I'm going to get ready for all our braising liquid. Okay, so a little bit of oil in there as well. Okay. So we're going to get our beef cheeks into this one. You should do a nice little sizzle when they go in. Just want to evenly colour all the sides. Don't overcrowd your pan, you know, if you can't fit all your cheeks in, just do it in a couple of batches. And then into the other pan, we're going to start with our smoked pancetta. Okay. We're going to get a bit of a roast on there. Okay, so we're roasting our cheeks off nicely. You can see they've got started to colour up there. We need a bit more colour and we need it on all sides there. Okay. Now into the pan where we put the pancetta, we're going to now go in with the garlic. The thyme, it might spit a little, so just be careful when that goes in. And then the onion. Okay, so all we're going to do now is we're just going to roast all that off as well and get some colour on that. Give it a stir. Okay, so we've roasted off all our vegetables in there now. Now I'm going to add some red wine. Okay, so it's really important now to add a really good quality red wine. I'm using a Biocca today. It's going to give a real full body flavour and a real sort of nice depth to the sauce. Okay, so quite generous. I'm going to go in with about a third of the bottle. Okay, and all we're going to do now is we're just going to reduce that down. Okay, by about a third. Once that's reduced by about a third, our cheek should be ready. And then we'll go to the next step. So welcome back everybody. The cheeks are lovely and nicely all roasted here, coloured on all sides. The reduction is reduced by 1/3. It smells absolutely amazing. Obviously the red wine that we've used, the Rioja, is really full of flavour, so it's giving a beautiful smell and colour. And the last thing that's really important is good quality stock. Okay, so I've got a beef stock here. This is homemade, but obviously you could buy beef stock in a pouch. Fresh stock is better. You don't really want to be using stock cubes or little stock pots for this, so ideally you buy fresh stock. You could use chicken as well, absolutely fine, but you get a much more rich kind of finish with the beef stock. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to add the cheeks to the red wine. Okay, so we're just going to put them in there, and I'm going to go in with the stock. Okay, now if it's not quite enough stock to cover all the cheeks, all we need to do then is just add a little bit of water just to top it up. You don't want the cheeks swimming around, but they need to be obviously covered, otherwise they're not going to cook. Okay, so we're going to go in with our beef stock now. Like I say, it's quite a rich stock, so it's quite sort of gelatinous. I'm probably going to add just a little bit of water as well. Okay. The sauce will reduce, so obviously it doesn't matter if you put a little bit too much water, it will come down. We cook it uncovered, we don't put a lid on it, because obviously then it won't reduce and intensify the flavour. So we're just going to add a little bit of water now, and all we're going to do is we're going to bring this up to a gentle simmer. It doesn't look very appetising at the minute, but it will be, trust me. We're going to bring this to a gentle simmer. We're going to cook this for 2 to 3 hours. So the best way to do is just to come back after a couple of hours, scoop one cheek out and just test it if it's soft and quite squashy. It's ready. So then all we do is just turn it off, let it cool in the stock. So again, it takes more flavour, and then we'll drain it off and I'll show you how to finish. Guys, so it's already looking better. It's come to the boil now. I've just skimmed off the layer of fat that's come to the top, and now, like I said before, we're going to cook this now for 2 to 3 hours and then come back. Okay everybody, so the ox cheeks have now finished cooking. I've just drained them off, so I've got my stock here and I've got my ox cheeks in front. Now I'm just going to go through how we finish them in the restaurant. Okay, so for this you will need a little bit of red currant jelly that I've got down the front here. That's just going to make it a little bit sweeter and it's going to make it really rich. I've got some crispy onion to garnish the top, and I'm going to finish it with a little bit of thyme as well. In the restaurant we add sort of more smoked pancetta, we add some little baby petty onions, but this sauce is really rich, so we're not going to need to add any more there, okay? So first things first, we'll get our pan on, get it nice and warm. We're going to go in with the beef stock, or the ox stock. Now if this has got a little bit thick and over reduced, you can add a little bit of water here just to thin it out a little bit. In with our ox cheeks. You can already see the sauce is nice and rich. It's kind of almost sort of glazing, but we're going to reduce that more just to intensify it a little bit. I'm going to go and put a bit of red currant jelly in. Now this is personal preference, however sort of sweet you like it. So we're going to start with a little bit there. And we're going to taste as we're cooking, and if we need to add a little bit more, then we can add a little bit more. And just for a little bit more aroma, a little bit more fragrance, we're going to add a little bit of thyme. So again, personal preference, how much you want to add. I'm just going to add a couple of sprigs in there. Now we're just going to reduce this down so it glazes the cheeks, and that's going to take a couple of minutes. Great, so the ox stock now is reduced right down. It's glazing the cheeks, it's really nice, really sort of sticky. So we're just going to finish that now with a little bit of flattened parsley. So we're going to turn it off, we don't need any more heat. a little bit of fresh parsley here, just for a bit of colour. So you can see it's really thick, it's really glazed the cheeks there. I'm going to serve this just for the purpose of this video with a little bit of puree. We've done it in the past with the celery puree, it's really good. I've got a little bit of artichoke puree today. So it's a little bit of puree on the plate. If you like puree, be really generous. Go on with the ox cheeks. So as you can see, they're really rich, really glazed up, and full of flavour. All that nice sauce on there. Just for a bit of texture, I'm going to do a little bit of crispy onion with this. Just over the puree on the top of the cheeks. And there you have it, guys. It's one of our most signature or most famous dishes at La Casita. That's our braised ox cheeks with red wine, nice beef stock, served with a little aromatic juicy tomato puree. So I hope you've enjoyed today's class, today's dish. If you have, please consider subscribing to the La Casita virtual kitchen. It really helps us to promote and give you more content for you guys as well. So if you have enjoyed it, please subscribe, click the thumbs up button, and look out for our future videos that we will be coming to you with shortly. Thank you again for your time, and take care everybody. Bye now.